From unsettling, strange creature encounters in the woods to heart-stopping Bigfoot sightings and even footage of a creepy intruder living in your house, if you're intrigued by the world of the unexplained, you're in for an extraordinary adventure as we explore each mysterious capture. You may have come across many Bigfoot sightings captured on camera, but have you ever seen a Bigfoot captured by people and kept in a cage? A spooky video has surfaced on Reddit, showing a cage placed in the middle of a forest with a massive creature inside it. Inside the cage, there are cameras that provide a clear view of this legendary creature's imposing presence. It emits a rather terrifying growl and is covered in a thick coat of fur. In addition to the creature, you can also see other people around the cage, recording this Bigfoot-like figure. The Bigfoot in the video appears to be very aggressive and clearly doesn't like being inside the cage. It's desperately trying to break free, and its immense power is causing the entire cage to shake. If this video is indeed genuine, it raises the possibility that we might see these mighty creatures in our zoos in the years to come. A man had a strange problem in his apartment. His food kept disappearing, and he suspected his girlfriend, but she denied it.
So I kept on finding food missing in my apartment that I knew I wasn't eating. I confronted my girlfriend who lives with me about it, and she claimed she wasn't eating it. So I decided I'm going to set up a video camera and I'm going to catch her. This is what I found.
To catch her in the act, the man set up a security camera. What he discovered was truly terrifying. He placed the camera in his kitchen and went to sleep. After about 2 hours, there was some movement above the doorway, and then a person came out of it. This person stepped onto a table, and it turned out to be a messy-looking girl who seemed like she might be homeless. The girl acted like she owned the place, confidently opening the fridge and moving around as if it were her home. It appeared that she had been doing this for a while. After snacking from the fridge, the girl casually sat on the sofa and watched TV. Then, she went back to the fridge, but heard the homeowner approaching, so she hid behind the sofa. When the homeowner came in for a drink of water and left again, she emerged, had more food, and then disappeared back to where she came from. The man woke up and went about his daily routine, completely unaware of this creepy encounter. After watching the video and seeing how comfortable the lady was, it made the homeowner wonder if she had been living with them unnoticed for a long time. A video was posted on TikTok by a user named The Weird Shelf. In the video, a man is seen with his dog, and both of them notice something in the distance. They spot a creature moving around in the bushes up ahead. The dog, all excited, takes off after it. The man tries to stop the dog, but it's too eager and fast. As the dog barks and chases the strange creature, it starts to move back into the forest. When we zoom in closely, we can see that this creature looks like a mix of an ape and a human, and it has a thick black coat of fur. It's also quite large compared to the surrounding bushes, and stands upright. What do you think this creature could have been? Hikers often have encounters with strange creatures, and one such unsettling experience was recorded by an unfortunate hiker. In the video, we can see the hiker, who seems anxious and scared, moving the camera hastily. As he continues, he hears the sound of a nearby tree shaking. He quickly turns the camera towards the source and witnesses the tree violently trembling. Upon zooming in, he spots an incredibly odd and huge humanoid creature, causing the commotion. This sight terrifies the hiker. As he records this horrifying being, it becomes aware of his presence and starts making frightening grunting and growling sounds. Hearing these unsettling noises, the hiker runs for his life, and the video ends. When we get a closer look at this creature, we can see that it's quite massive and covered in thick fur. Its face looks quite strange and is unlike any known animal. Could it be an ape or a massive gorilla? Or perhaps something even more ominous, like a Bigfoot? This next video comes from a Russian road camera and captures a truly unusual phenomenon. In the video, we can see a view of a remote road. After a few seconds, a light orb begins to form in front of us in the woods. At first, this orb is relatively dim, but then it suddenly becomes brilliantly bright. Afterward, the orb starts to move. It glides and passes right beside the camera, eventually moving out of the frame. This occurrence is quite strange because the light was simply a radiant orb. There were no discernible outlines of its source or the object emitting it. It was just pure, unexplained light. If you have any ideas or explanations for this strange orb, please share them in the comments below for others to see. Just like humans, some people believe that ghosts might have children, and they too might want to play just like we do. This video captures something that seems like that. In the video, we can see a tricycle moving all by itself. Its pedals are moving as if someone is riding it even though there's no one there. It goes on for a while and then tips over. Some people who've seen this video suggest that maybe the floor slope is causing the tricycle to move, or it could be the wind. These explanations could make sense, but the owner of the place confirmed that the floor was perfectly level. Also, if it were the wind, why would it only affect the tricycle? This video is quite puzzling because there's a mystery surrounding why the tricycle is behaving this way. This video was filmed by a fisherman while he was boating on a Canadian lake. While he was cruising along, he noticed a figure passing at the edge of the forest in the distance. Even though the distance was considerable, we can see that the creature appears to resemble Bigfoot. It's also possible that it could have been a very large ape or gorilla because they too have fur and a similar shape to this creature. However, its enormous size suggested that it was the mighty Bigfoot. If you compare its size to the trees in the background, it looks like this Bigfoot-like creature could be between 10 and 12 feet tall. Thankfully, it didn't appear to be able to swim. Otherwise, it might have swum towards the boat and caused a very tense situation. A man claimed to have recorded footage of the rake near his house. The video begins with a cameraman pointing his camera at some bushes at nighttime. It seems like he saw something and is using a flashlight to get a better look. While investigating the bushes, he spots something in the distance, but can't quite make out if it's an animal or something else. However, as he continues to observe, it becomes clear to him, and he starts shouting at it. The man then approaches to get a closer look and discovers a strange creature lurking there. It was a truly terrifying sight for both the viewers and the cameraman, prompting him to run away. The man claimed it was a rake, which is typically described as a tall, hairless, pale humanoid creature. What do you think it could have been? This video captures a real ghost sighting on camera. The video shows the inside of a home, and we see a lady casually walking down the stairs. After she goes downstairs, something strange and quite frightening occurs. We witness a transparent, childlike figure emerging from a doorway. This ghostly figure appears entirely smoky as it comes out of the room for a moment, and then returns inside. As it goes back in, the chair in the room moves on its own. The owner of the house mentioned that this is a regular occurrence in their home, and they have made peace with the ghost coexisting with them. These homeowners certainly show a lot of courage. When we hear about ghosts and jinns, we often think of scary and terrifying beings. But have you ever seen the good and helpful side of them? This video comes from India and shows a street view. In the footage, we can see a man followed by another man who appears to be trying to rob him. As they move forward, the follower suddenly attacks the first man and starts searching him while he's on the ground. Then, something astonishing happens. A figure emerges from within the person being robbed. This figure begins to defend the victim and fights against the robber. At first, the robber tries to resist, but this jinn-like creature is strong and overpowers him. Eventually, the robber gives up and leaves, and the jinn goes back into the victim's body. Seeing this encounter makes me wonder if all jinns were like that, our lives might have been much easier. This video was shared by a parent who captioned it as being deceived by a child ghost. In the video, we can hear a girl crying, and then we see a transparent childlike ghost passing in front of the camera. Upon seeing this, the father believed it was his daughter and rushed to console her. However, as the father was going towards the spirit, thinking it was his daughter, his wife called out to him and asked where he was going because their daughter was with her. The father then went to his wife and asked her about their daughter's whereabouts, and she told him that their daughter was sleeping. This is quite eerie, as it seems that the ghost child initially tricked the father by imitating his daughter's cry, and then assumed her form to lure him away. It's unsettling to think about what might have happened if the wife hadn't intervened, and the father had continued chasing after the ghost. This video was recorded by a hiker exploring the Australian Tarkine forest, and they claim to have captured a sighting of the legendary Bigfoot. In the footage, we get a view of the forest, which initially appears to be empty. As the hiker moves the camera around to capture the surroundings, something truly terrifying happens. A massive dark figure emerges from behind the trees. This creature is enormous and walks in a manner similar to humans. It has long arms, and judging from its first step, it also has long legs. This creature seems to be in a hurry and quickly disappears back into the woods. Encounters like this are spine-chilling because these creatures are believed to be incredibly fast, and the hiker was alone in the forest. If this creature had decided to chase the hiker, it's unlikely anyone would have been there to save him. This video comes from Brazil, showing a security camera view of a staircase. In the footage, we can see a woman descending the stairs, but there's something unusual happening at the other end. A dark and shadowy figure appears in front of her, and understandably, the woman decides to do what any sensible person would. She starts running. This dark, smoky figure is enormous, almost like it's engulfing the entire staircase with its eerie presence. As the woman runs, we can see that this figure seems to float above the stairs and pursues her with lightning-fast speed. Encountering something like this and being chased by it must have been a truly terrifying experience. We can only hope that the woman was okay after this encounter. This video was posted on Facebook by a mom who wanted to show off her baby's cute new hat. The post received lots of comments, but not just about the baby's hat. In the video, it can be seen that the mother is recording her baby's new flashy hat, and suddenly, in the background in the doorway, someone or something passes by very quickly. At that moment, the mom didn't notice it. The figure was really strange, as it appeared to be a child demon because of its height, and it was completely black, with no light reflecting off its body. One can only imagine the shock and surprise the mom must have felt when she eventually realized that an unexpected guest had appeared in their home. Watching expert predators hunt is truly fascinating, and thanks to Mark Smith Photography, we get to witness these experts in action. In the video, an eagle focuses its attention on a potential prey. The eagle then initiates a nose attack dive, swooping down. As it descends, we see that there are foxes on the ground, and it appears they've already hunted something and are in the process of eating it. The eagle dives with remarkable precision and attempts to snatch the prey from the fox's mouth. With the sheer force of the eagle's flight, the fox is flipped and drops to the ground. However, despite this almost perfect hunting maneuver, our eagle was unsuccessful in securing the prey. Props to the fox for holding on to its meal, even when the eagle sent her flying. This video hails from Italy and captures a peculiar figure on camera. The video begins with a camera recording a rural area. The person behind the camera points toward a figure in the video, following it with their finger. The video quality isn't great. It's somewhat grainy and in shades of gray, but we can still make out the figure. This figure appears dark and unusual. Its shape resembles that of a human, although it's not entirely clear. What surprises everyone is that the figure moves toward a wall, and to everyone's amazement, passes directly through it. Some viewers might argue that the figure could be a skinny person, dressed in black, but the fact that it passes through the wall adds an element of strangeness and unease to the entire video. Dogs are known for sensing things that the human mind may not comprehend or see with our eyes. This video is captured by a home security camera, and in it we see a vigilant dog standing on the balcony, gazing suspiciously out into the yard. After a while, the dog starts barking, clearly spooked by something. Suddenly, a strange set of disembodied legs swiftly runs across the background. Witnessing this, the dog seems surprised and scared by the sight and decides to go back inside. Upon closer inspection, the shadowy figure of the legs appears to be small and moves quite swiftly. It also seems to leave a dark, smoky trail behind as it moves. This video is from Nepal and shows a very unusual creature grabbing onto a goat. In the video, we can see the goat owners holding sticks and appearing to be searching for something or someone. The goats seem distressed and frightened, trying to escape from some unseen threat. Then, we witness the source of the goat's terror, a strange creature latched onto the goat's downside. At first glance, it may resemble a chimpanzee, perhaps seeking milk. But upon closer examination of its face, it becomes clear that it doesn't resemble a chimpanzee from any angle. Identifying what this strange creature might be is a challenge. Its intentions toward the goats are uncertain and remain a mystery. This strange and unsettling video was shared by a TikTok user who claimed to have captured a witch in their village. In the video, there is a peculiar humanoid figure perched on top of a house. This creature appears to be thin and is without any fur or clothing. As the local residents gather around, this eerie being seems to focus its gaze on them. You can observe an unsettling, otherworldly look in its eyes as it stares blankly at the camera. This creature also appears to be quite large and is hunched over on the roof, while there's a possibility that it could be a person who is intoxicated and suffering from addiction. Hospitals are places meant for our well-being, but occasionally they become the backdrop for eerie and inexplicable encounters. This video depicts one such instance. In the video, a patient is peacefully sleeping in his bed. Suddenly, something unusual happens. He awakens in a state of panic. The man flips around, struggling as if someone or something is on top of him, pressing him down into the bed. He fights for his life and manages to barely free himself from this ghostly presence. Following the encounter, a nurse enters the room, surprised by the patient's sudden distress. There could be several possible explanations for this incident, ranging from a medical episode like epilepsy to a ghostly encounter. Regardless of the cause, it's undoubtedly an unsettling sight to witness. For more captivating content like this, simply click here. Thank you for tuning in.